Good afternoon. We are coming into Ridgeway, Colorado. We're on our way to Phoenix. Get some fall colors. I was glad to be able to get back up into the mountains. Been running out onto the plains. So it's good to be back in the stomping grounds. Got a dang fly in here that's absolutely driving me insane. Go up over Lizard Head Pass and come in through by the Four Corners area. If it saved time, I would be going Red Mountain Pass, but we don't really save anything doing that, so we're not going to do that. That should probably take longer. If I was light, that would be something. We got a load of sawdust. Compagre Riva. Looking pretty good. A little low, but it's flowing. So the wonky wipers are about done. I think it's the switch. Talked to Raul, the mechanic. Oh no, 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 no. No, no, no. So I'm saying that for a school bus. We're heavy. And we will be stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Unless they're cool and when they stop, let traffic go around them and then go again. It's 3:30. Maybe he's going to the school to pick up the kids. Hopefully that's the case. Anyway, the wonky wipers are about wonked out. They started working on their own when it was off. And I actually have the relay pulled. That's why the dash is open right up and right below the camera here. Yeah, he's still picking up the kids. So they still work. If I put the relay in, hopefully they send me back to Colorado from Phoenix and we can get it fixed once and for all. The reason I never really fixed it is because they work fine in regular mode and fast mode, but not in intermittent. I mean, sometimes it would work. Probably about 50% of the time it would work properly in intermittent. But the other times, you all know well, there's wonky wipers. But I got 373,000 miles on here, so today was the first time it actually, in the off position, started working on its own. No wonkiness to it, just that it would start, it's in the off position and it starts swiping. Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call, shut me all down. So anyway, yeah, the wipers just kind of do what they want. They do the regular swipe. They wouldn't do the fast. They do the regular swipe, and then they do the intermittent swipe. Then it would stop altogether, and then it would start doing it again. So pretty sure it's the switch in the steering column. So I'll let the boys work on that. Anyway, I made a delivery this morning of fiber mesh. I know what that is because I worked at the concrete plant in Granby, and had 40 pallets. They were double stacked, and the guy he wanted me to back up to a concrete pad area, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because this has to be done with a pallet jack, and I'm not going to be pulling a pallet jack uphill. The two pallets stacked on top of each other, and the nose of the tractor will be lower than the trailer, and so it puts a pretty good slope. I go, no, I'm not going to do that. If you guys want to do it, go ahead, but if you need my help, I'm not going to be the one pulling pallets uphill. So it was 40,000 pounds. So basically it was 1,000 pounds a pallet. So 2,000 pounds because they're double, one stacked on top of the other. And I went looking for an area. I go, where's they going? They're going in the Quonset over here. Okay, well, why don't I pull right over here a lot closer to it, to where it's level, if not has a little bit of a downgrade to the back of the trailer. Just use gravity assist, and finally he goes, oh, okay, and I was like, man, this is over there by Gypsum, and right next to Dotsero, exit that parking area. So he goes to take him off, and he's taking off one pallet, the top half. Like, why don't you just grab the bottom and pick up both of them? Nope. I'm like, okay. And my clock is away ticking, so then I was talking to the other guy that actually worked there as well, and he's like, oh, he already grabbed the fork. If I would have done it, I would have grabbed both of them. And then later on talking, he goes, I would have just gone bam, 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 and then brought him inside later on, and just to get you out of here. And I go, oh, that would have been nice, but now, this is taking a lot more time. So needless to say, it took 2.5 hours for 40 pallets. And he kept, one time he picked up 2 pallets. So he grabbed the bottom one, so the other top one was still sitting there. And I go, oh, now he's going to do it, after he was like a little over halfway done. And he set it on the ground in front, pulled out from underneath the bottom one, went over there, picked up the top one, took it in, bring the other one, and I just didn't understand it, because he was restacking them the same way they came out. But he would drop it, take one, and then go back, grab the other one, and go back. It did not make any sense. And me and the other guy were talking, because it took a long time to wait between, the pallets. And I go, what I found the biggest problem with people who don't really know how to run forklifts? They've always got the forks tilted up. They're not level or pointed down a little bit. They're always pointed up. And what happens is they end up stabbing the other, the rungs of the pallet. And come on, car, dang it. Try to let that car go by. Anyway, so they have a hard time, and he was having a hard time with that. And I even told the other guy, I was like, usually people start to learn, what they're doing. With this guy, he didn't learn it. He wasn't advancing at all. He had a really tough time in the beginning, and he did pick up a little bit after a while, but it took him, more than half of the trailer to start getting a system down. But I told the other guy, what did he say his Bryant, I think he said his name was, or Brant, I can't remember. Apologize. Anyway, I told him, what I've always seen, because I've always seen these people have a hard time with these forks. You can tell when somebody's good on a forklift and when somebody's bad. And I was telling him, I was like, I thought about getting an invention that would give them a light or a bubble of some kind. It tells them when their forks are level, and that way they can run off of that, because some people can't figure out how to look, around the mast to see which way their forks are leaning, either tilted up or tilted down. But it's just kind of frustrating. And this guy never did. He never took 2 pallets, which is 2,000 pounds total. Granted, it's kind of tall, but he could have easily, he picked them up off the trailer, then he could set it on the ground, then pull out, grab the top one, take it in, set it down, come out, grab the other one, go in, set it up on top of the other one. He just brought it in. I wanted to ask him why. What is the concept in your thinking, and why you won't just take 2 in at once? I would have done it. The other guy said he would have done it. This guy is like, nope. Okay. Anyways, that was kind of a frustrating day trying to get going, and having somebody do something that is so backwards and not willing to correct it in any way whatsoever. That was really, really irritating and frustrating, and all the other things I could say about it. But anyway, we have a load of sawdust. We'll take it to Phoenix, actually Casa Grande. All the tree huggers are out here. You guys get a passenger side view. I cleaned the windshield off. I don't know if I can get it to clear off a little bit more. As soon as I plug this relay in, it should, see, there they go. But I do have fluid. Let's see if I can clean it a little bit. I was hoping to get a run up into the mountains where we could get some fall colors before the snow starts flying, which will be pretty soon. Thank goodness. I gotta pull this out now, because it's off and they literally just keep on going. But at least they still work. Today's date is January October 6th, 2021. And if I have to keep using my wipers, as far as in a rainstorm, I just leave the relay in there. San Miguel County, but I don't know if this gives me a pass. Oh, Dallas Divide, 8970. That's what this Dallas Divide. Anyway, I'll pause it here a little bit so I can get some good views through the mountains as we travel through Lizard Head Pass. See you in a bit. I'm used to being up here in these mountains with light trailers. Kind of tough when you're heavy. Kind of tough. Let's tell you ride. Well, it's kind of up that canyon here to the right. We're going to turn before it. Take old 145 south, down and down. Guy's over here jogging at high altitude. Pretty sure he's acclimated to it. It's not something you just say, oh, I think I'll go jogging. This little stretch of road right here is usually snow-packed in the wintertime, icy. I think Tom Cruise's house is up on that ridge. I don't know if he sold it or not. Well, one time he was asking $55 million. Get our flashers out. Definitely the right time for color. You must not have a Jake brake or something. This is one of my most favorite places in Colorado. Like, I like Red Mountain Pass, but I also like Lizard Head Pass. I guess we're supposed to get snow like 4 days or so. You know, I've seen a lot of cops today. No state patrol, but they in wintertime, they have the chain laws up, I don't see any state troopers up here nailing truckers like me who aren't running chains. Of course, I'm light too. If I was heavy like this, I'd probably be wearing chains. You can drop the flashers. He's getting a picture of that hillside behind us. Logging truck. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to go this way. Don't really know if I'll go this way in the winter with this type of load because it's heavy. I don't know. I probably would still do it, I reckon. They want us to go north of Olathe, Colorado, into Grand Junction, I-70 to Crescent Junction, Moab turnoff, goes through Moab and through Monticello, Utah, come that way. That's how they want us to go, but they're paying us to go this way. So it's 75 miles longer to go that route. So you're basically losing probably an hour and a half of your e-log, but you're not going to get paid for it because they pay zip code to zip code. Now, of course, it would be better if we were lighter, because we could make more time. Some of these hills are pretty brutal. But the scenery makes up for it, right? And I don't think I've ever done a video. I don't think I have. It's might be a first. Like the right time video for fall colors. I've done it through I-70, but not up into the mountains themselves like what we're doing here. So I pretty much just let the camera roll. There's no runaway truck ramps up here. Yes, sir. They pay me to do this. The guy looked at me kind of like, what are you doing up here? We're up here enjoying the fall colors. We don't need a semi-truck up here. But we're up here just the same. We got a lot of people that want to see it too, right? So I was talking to that guy from the concrete plant this morning. I think his name was Brent. But he said they had I-70 closed, east and west. In that construction zone, the west side of Eisenhower. So a truck crashed in there, overheated their brakes, and I'm like, yeah, I see it all the time. People don't know how to drive these mountains. They don't know how to drive a truck, I should say. End up heating their brakes up. Tried to get that thing to downshift, but it wouldn't do it. Finally, it did. I didn't need it anymore. This is a fun road in the wintertime, too. I like it a lot. Being heavy like this and top heavy, you can't really hit these corners like I'd like to if I was lighter. Old mill, I think, mining operation. Breaking past that hill because it took so long to get up it. 75 Dodge pickup, maybe a little newer. Wish I had a clean windshield. Rico and Dolores. I haven't been there in a long time. It's been such a long time. Now, if I was hauling plumbing supplies or mattresses, I could just like pretty much fly through all this. But since we're heavy, it's nice to be able to slow down a bit and get a gander of it all. Next pass will be Lizard Head. Like 15 campers, all the same thing. piece of plastic hose. Couldn't do anything about it but run over it. We're not, I mean, we're heavy, but we're not really that heavy as far as we're, I think, 72,000 total. But it's still heavy enough. I think even if I was, probably 50,000, we'd still be lugging these hills. Lake on the side. Elevation 10,000 feet. I don't remember what Lizard Head is. I think it's over 11. We're going to find out. It's been so long since I've been here. Probably maybe a year or two. This is it. Dolores County, they should have an elevation. They don't, until I could see. I can't really see that much because I drive in. Maybe it's on one of these signs. No, nope. Oh well, you can look it up on Google Maps. Maybe it's not quite 11, but near, pretty close to it. This is one of my favorite passes too in the wintertime, because when you're up here in this area, the wind's blowing and the snow, it's all white and it just looks treacherous. It sort of is too. I enjoy it. It's fun. Stuff go dormant before the snow flies. Sheep Mountain is 13,188. Also, one to the left of us has snow on top of it. Lizard Head Peak, 13,113. Trying to see if it really looks like a lizard head. I remember this stretch right here. It's kind of dicey because especially being heavy, so we're going to bring it down. As it goes pretty steep, I say 8%, and it makes a right-hand turn. Maybe it goes from 8 to 9. Look, Ma, no brakes. For 34 mph, recommended 40. Looks like he must have just hit that deer, maybe. You can look back, there was a deer on the shoulder. Kind of in the ravine right there. I thought it looked kind of freaky because his eyes were open. You should go back in there and put a bullet in it. But they're probably not packing. Chain station right there. Nice little campground there to the left. We're just cruising along in Mexican overdrive at the moment. See a little hunting tent right there. Probably only a couple miles away from Rico Suave, Rico, Colorado. Very first video I ever did was on this highway. It was south of Rico. I started it. Nice little valley here. San Juan National Forest. think the town should be right here somewhere. There it is, right here. Rico city limit 88.27. Grand Lake is about 83, so extra 500 foot taller. I'd like to buy that old Jeep right there. It's too cool for school. Nice quiet little town of Rico. We used to always stop at this little gas station over here at the end of town. The Mountaintop Fuel. Little cemetery. Usually when I came through here, it was in the winter time, so all this stuff was buried in snow. Open range. I haven't seen any animals at all. A 65 Ford Bronco on that trailer. So I was getting the fifth wheel had a clank to it. Have a heavy load. I'd sit at a stop sign or stop light. Go to take off and you hear a big old clank from the fifth wheel pin. And I thought it was in the bushings. So one of the mechanics, the night mechanic, Lupe, he was talking to me the other night. And he said one of his, like his favorite car right now is the CTSV Gen 3. Because mine was sitting there in the parking lot and he was talking about it. So he was asking me how the truck was doing. I go, good. But you guys rotate drives, you know, because the rear wheel is a drive wheel, the front axle is also a drive wheel, but only when you interlocked it. If you don't do that, then it's an idle wheel. So the rear tires get more wear than the axle sitting right in front of it. He's like, no, we don't rotate them. More than likely, but looking at these tires, they'll probably throw a new set on you. And here comes somebody just like he came from way back there, like 3 cars behind me, but they're pretty spaced out. Anyway, I told him, I go, yeah, well, there's a new truck in the yard. I don't know if they're going to give me one of those or not. I don't know if I even want one, you know. And I go, the only issue I have is like that clanking in the fifth wheel plate. And he goes, what? And I told him, and so he goes and looks at it, and he goes, yeah, you can see this is all worn out inside here. There's a lip, and it's got chunks missing out of it. And it's like almost like a ceramic / plastic type piece with 4 screw bolts that hug around the fifth wheel pin. Because I could change that for you. It'd take about 10 minutes. It'll take like 20 minutes, I think, but no big deal. I was doing laundry anyway. And I go, man, that would be great if that's fixed. I'm so sick of the fifth wheel bouncing, clanking, you know, when I stop and when I take off, you know. So he swapped it out, and sure as heck, it doesn't do that anymore. So that's pretty nice. I'm glad he was able to fix that. But I told him, that's kind of odd that plate that you put in there takes all that abuse on the fifth wheel, and that it's like a plastic type / ceramic or carbon type thing. It's really weird looking. But he's like, yeah, that's all it is. And it actually goes in the fifth wheel plate, and the first, I don't know, 70-80% of that fifth wheel pin is resting up against that piece. Kind of looks like a horseshoe almost, but a little bit more. Kind of like a horseshoe, I guess, but a lot thicker in diameter. So anyway, he changed it, and now it's a lot smoother. Had I known that, I would have done it a long time ago, but this is the first time I've ever had a truck this long. Usually they've given me a new one after about 100,000 miles, and I got 373 on this one and change. It's been a good truck. Well, I think this video is long enough. We'll be coming into Dolores, I think that's the name of the town. We'll go by Cortez and then get on the Indian reservation and make our way through that over to Flagstaff, on down to Phoenix. It says this delivers on the 8th, but I'll be there tomorrow. Hopefully they'll take it tomorrow. If not, we'll drop it in the yard and they can give us something else. We turn and burn. But if not, if we can unload tomorrow, that'd be good too. I don't know if we have to have an appointment. I'll deal with Dan on that in the morning. So we'll end the video here. Thanks again for riding shotgun. At least it's you got an eye full of color. So did I, by the way. So until the next time, enjoy. Peace. I never did say the temperature. It's 57 degrees out, Fahrenheit. See ya!